everyone. This is Mikey Guest with New Wave Pro Wrestling, and you're listening to Drinking with Mo. All right, everybody. Welcome to Drinking at Mo's. Today, I have with me somebody behind New Wave Pro. And, you know, they got a pretty big show coming up this weekend with Mob Rules, including a former, not former guest, but they have been a guest on my show. Don't Die Miles is going to be on. How are you doing? Doing good, man. This is Mikey Guest. I'm the promoter, co-owner of New Wave Pro Wrestling. It's funny because Earl Joseph usually does the podcast, so I'm finally kind of reaching out on my show and kind of doing some interviews now. So this is first of many, so to speak, of getting behind the mic, getting behind the camera, and doing some podcasts, man. Well, I'm honored. You know, I know. Like I said, you guys got Don't Die Miles on the show. His interview I'm releasing the day before my birthday in the day that I'm releasing it's going to be July 11th. So I'm looking forward to that one. And that'll be good. It was a fun one. And I know I actually saw recently the last day or so that you guys got a pretty good friend of mine, Cold Stone Tim Boston, going to be on. Yes. It's our first time having him here, but he has actually been behind the scenes with our company for the past 2 years. He owns a graphic company. He is behind all of our branding and logos, our t-shirt designs, and all of our flyers for the past 2 years. So I'm excited that we actually get him to come to Indiana this year, to get him to get in the ring and let him kind of express his character. Because, I mean, if you look at our roster, it's so defined. I mean, we try not to have wrestler A versus wrestler B. And if you follow us on the YouTube channel, and then even if you get a taste of live shows when we go live, we try to push the character development. That's our big thing here at New Wave Pro. So bringing in Tim Boston, I think the crowd's gonna eat it up. It's gonna be good. Oh yeah, no, I've known him a little while now, and the crowd is going in for a treat. I can tell you that. So, how about we go through this card? The show Mob Rules this Saturday, July 2nd. Going to be a pretty big show from what I'm reading. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. So my one of my things that I'm looking forward to is not only are we bringing the West Vigo Community Center something new this year, but this card is specifically loaded with talent, and we've got tons of debuts. The one match that I can say that I'm very looking forward to, hard-hitting wise, would be Mad Dog Conley versus Mickey Knuckles. Ooh, I've actually been talking with Mickey Knuckles about coming on the show, so crossing my fingers we get that one lined up. But that one should be a good match right there. Yep. Excited on that one. And then we have Solomon Tupu, who is Black and Brave, right out of Seth Rollins' school. He's going to be taking on Eric Dillinger. This was actually supposed to happen months ago, but Dillinger tweaked his knee and got injured, so we had to put it on the back burner. But I think Mob Rules will be a perfect fit for their match. Yeah, I can gather that would be a pretty good fit. And I mean, people know Black and Brave Academy. There's lots of talent that come out of there. Pretty great talent. And I've actually interviewed for the show Merrick Brave, the Brave behind Black and Brave Academy. So he
he put down how he trains. So it's like, yeah, anybody that comes out of there, I have full confidence they're going to put on a damn good show.
Oh yeah, and then I mean, even we even joke around sometimes, and we instead of New Wave Pro, we call it New Brave Pro, just because I mean, there's so many students that are good that's coming and joining our roster and coming in and out and doing shows. So I'm pretty excited just to have that connection. But I think that match is going to be hard hitting, and I mean, our Mob Rules isn't like our extreme show, but it's basically our heavy hitters, so to speak, where we've got person A versus person B, but they're going to have some oomph behind them, and it's going to be kind of a strong style matchup on the full card. So I'm pretty excited.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's right up my alley. I love the strong style, especially me being the fan of a lot of the Japanese talent that I am. One of my personal favorites right now, Tomohiro Ishii. Anytime I see him on a card, I'm like, yep, I'm watching.
Yeah. I'm not too familiar with a lot of the Japanese guys, but I can say from watching All Out on Sunday, just that style, how it's developed and everything that goes on, man, they are some hard hitters.
Yeah, that they are. I know we mentioned Cold Stone Tim Boston being on the show. How about we talk a little bit about his match?
Oh yeah, man. He's gonna be facing Victor Analog. Man, Victor is a unique character as well. I don't know if you're too familiar with him, but I mean, he's actually the current WrestleNerds.com internet domain champion. He won their championship of our Higher Ground tapings about a month ago. Won't be defended on Saturday, but Victor's a good guy. I love Victor. I love his character. His in-ring style is unique, and I really think that him and Tim's gonna show him what the Ice Cream Social is all about.
Oh yeah, no, I can definitely say I have full confidence that that's definitely going to happen. Tim Boston, I'm more familiar with him because I mean he's from the Omaha area here, so I've been able to watch him develop from like some of his very first matches, and I mean he's only grown and got better from there, and he'll put on a good show for your crowd, and maybe he ends up pulling out the win here. Maybe that'll be one for a title shot for that title down the road.
Oh yeah, I could see that happening, man. That those Wrestle Nerds, that crew, man, they're good too. So I can see if he pulls out the big W that he would get one of those title shots in the long run.
Yeah. Another match that I remember reading about is the Freebird rule for the tag match with, like I said, Don't Die Miles and his group is going to be in there. And it's, I believe, for the tag titles, right?
Yeah, it's for the New Wave Pro World Tag Team Championships. We were uniquely blessed back a few months ago when the Von Englands were our tag team champions, and they actually went over to the UK to defend our titles, so we can actually declare them world championships now. So that's pretty exciting on our end.
Oh yeah, no, that's a pretty big thing when a promotion can get their titles out there like that and actually be able to legitimately call them world titles.
Yeah.
I know Don't Die Miles, he has a pretty unique character and his persona. You don't see a whole lot of people, I know water's important, but you don't see too many people, with that being part of their persona.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's bringing the water guns, the bottles of water out. So it'll definitely be. He's definitely interesting. And then with Freddie Hudson, the shooter, and then Cameron Saturn added to the mix. Those three, man, they're all uniquely talented, and they're all different. But when they come together, that's what makes them unique, because they flow so well.
That's what makes a great tag team. When you have two or more people that they just gel together, and it's almost like you hear different tag teams talking about how they just know where the other person's gonna be, and that person can anticipate them. And I see a lot of that with those three.
Oh yeah, man. Definitely those three will be the ones to look out as we move on to our fall shows and next year. But their opponents, which is the newly formed triple threat of Grindhouse, which includes, I don't know if you're familiar with Davey and Matt, besties in the world, was their former tag team. Now they have teamed up with Anakin Murphy as Grindhouse. So they'll be making their debut on Saturday night, which I'm looking. I think they're going to bring a very new. I can't think. It's like the words it's on the tip of my tongue, but I don't want to say a new violence, but a new. I mean, it could be violent, because Anakin has been violent lately. So who knows? Maybe it'll be a new violence era to the tag teams, to the trios and stuff.
Maybe the word you were thinking of, like intensity, because it sounded like that's kind of the way you were going there.
Yeah. I think intensity would describe them three, because I mean, just watching their matches, and now with Anakin in the mix, it'll be very intense.
Oh yeah, no, in the time that I've been watching your promotion, yeah, I can definitely see that. And I've seen, even in some of their promos that they done, they got that intensity, and that's some stuff that I latch onto. I love in pretty much anything, when somebody's showing that intensity, that fire, I latch on to that.
Yeah.
I know you have Sugar Dunker. I'm probably mispronouncing his name, but
yeah. Sugar Dunkerton. He'll be taking on Sage Phillips, who actually just beat Don't Die Miles for the New Wave Pro Championship. Which that match, I mean, it's gonna get technical. We had Shug D at New Wave for the first time at the Strongest Yard, and then him and Sage do have a background, not together, but they've been on shows together, but I don't think they've wrestled each other. So this will be a first time, but with Shug's style and Sage's technical style, I really think that it's definitely gonna be an on your feet, nail biting main event.
Yeah, I can see that. And I know, correct me if I'm wrong, I was watching a match with Shug D there, and he seemed to, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I know it seemed like he had a little bit of a different attitude than I had seen from him recently.
Yeah, that was almost what it's about 5 months ago. So coming in, he could definitely, I know he's been doing a lot of stuff. He's been getting ready to go back overseas. So if his eyes are set on the New Wave Pro Championship, those championship matches for anyone directly involved, it can bring out, just another side of you. Because you want to win the big gold.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole goal.
Yeah, that's the goal for anybody getting into any promotion. You want to win all the belts at some point. And okay, I know. So we've gone through a few of the matches. What other ones am I forgetting about here? Because I want to make sure we were able to cover everybody. Don't want to have anybody be left out.
Yep. So we'll have the Trios World Tag Team Championship match we talked about. We have Eric Dillinger versus Solomon we spoke about. We have Victor Analog versus Tim Boston. We spoke briefly about Mickey Knuckles versus Mad Dog Conley for the Higher Ground Championship. And we just spoke about Sage versus Shug D for the NWP Championship. And I think the only one that we haven't touched on is going to be another heavy hitter match. So we got Lobo Akami versus Beef, who is Gnarls Garvin, Big Beef from MLW. I think that's the only match we've left out. So,
oh boy, yeah, we need to talk about that because I had talked with that first guy you mentioned. I'm feeling bad because I've had a long couple of days, but I've talked with him about coming on. But you talk about the guy from MLW. I mean, those guys are doing some big things over there, and to kind of, really be of any, trying to come up with the word here. When you want to make an impact in a company like MLW, you almost have to have, that size that he does. Oh. All right, everybody, we're back. Had a little bit of a technical issue, things, phones overheating and shit. That stuff happens all the
first time forever, apparently. First time for everything.
Yeah, but I believe we were talking about the match with Beef in there. That looks like it's going to be one hell of a hoss fight.
Oh yeah, man. Lobo's a big boy, and Beef's Beef. I mean, his name. You can't really. I mean, he's a big boy. He's fresh off his MLW run. It's funny because we booked Beef, man, years ago, right when he was breaking into the business in a show in Southern Indiana, and it's kind of funny that we're just now kind of connecting back after almost 4 or 5 years of him traveling and doing his own thing and doing stuff. So I'm excited for it.
Oh yeah, you guys, that match, big hoss fight. You got, like we mentioned, Cold Stone Tim Boston versus I'm forgetting his name. Dan. Yes. That one I'm looking forward to because I remember the first time I saw him on one of your shows, and his entrance was just something different. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Coming out with the LED TV head and all that. Yeah, he's good, man. It's good.
Oh, yeah. And, something outside of the show that I was kind of interested in talking with you about is it was funny for me when I first saw your promotion, because when I was stationed in San Diego and I was new to the area, being kind of homesick and just trying to figure out stuff to do around town. So I heard about all the independent wrestling there is in Southern California. So I just Googled pro wrestling in San Diego and I put this show, and I kid you not, it was for a promotion down there that has since closed its doors that was called New Wave Pro.
I have saw that. And it's funny too, because back in back in 2012, like I started, like, my background a little bit is I was a wrestler, worked for a janky promoter, figured out the odds and ends of the business, broke away from him, done my own thing, and then I actually got out of the wrestling business for several years at one point, and I started promoting concerts in Terre Haute. But then in 2012, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to get an itch for the wrestling. So when I was going through names, I was like, man, I want something new, something different. And I didn't want to do like championship wrestling or, just like your WCW or your WWF. I wanted something else. And at the time, I was like, I just want something pro. I was like, I want something new. So I was like, new what? New heights, new whatever. I'm like, new wave, because the you riding the wave, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Once I started looking up, I was like, well, these guys are closed in California, so it wouldn't be such a big deal. Which,
yeah.
I mean, when you even type in our stuff on YouTube, their stuff comes up, and I've checked out their stuff, and I think some of their old wrestlers still comment on some of our YouTube videos too.
I think I've seen some of that because I've actually become friends with a good number of those guys, and we've talked about it a little bit, but we're all like, hey, they put on a good show. We can't mad about it.
Yeah, exactly, man. And then you run into that, and then you even run into the talent sometimes. It's like, yeah, this is so-and-so's name, and then you're like, you know how many so-and-so names there are? But it's all good like that, though. You can't really I mean, it's a worldwide wrestling business. You're gonna run into that sometimes.
Oh yeah, totally. Okay, there we go again. I think that time it was on my end.
I was like,
I don't know what the hell happened. But yeah, like I was saying, for me personally, it was like, oh, new wave, huh? And then I was like, I feel conflicted because I'm friends with the guys that ran the one in California. But then I get to watching you guys. I'm like, okay. I mean, the one down there closed its doors, so it was like, you can't be mad at that. And then it's like, you get to watching your product, you're like, okay, I can follow this.
Yeah, and we've been totally blessed with like in 2012 it was just me. My parents actually jumped in with me at the time, and my dad owned a recycling center in town, kind of giving you the backstory of us. We started doing shows in there, and then we're drawing 200 to 300 people for these little warehouse shows, local talent. I think at that time I had a 14 by 14 ring. It was actually the ring used from the original Amazing Spider-Man movie with not Tobey Maguire but Andrew Garfield, where he falls out of the ceiling and lands in the ring. I actually bought that ring from a production company in Louisville, and they were showing me the odds and ends, and it actually, when they taped that scene, they actually had to turn in their stage set wherever they taped to a wrestling arena. So instead of, which, I mean, I guess when you have multi-million-dollar production, you can do this, but what they done is when they were finished with it, they had hooks in all the poles, and they lifted the ring up.
Yeah.
So it was just hanging there, and they still had the cables in the poles when I bought it. And we ran with that thing for about 4 years. And then Chris Abel, who was my current partner who jumped in on New Wave, he went and we sat down, we figured out, and then we ended up getting a brand new 16 by 16 ring. Hence then we've got the steel cage for it and stuff like that. And then, so it's been mainly being him, the business decisions, and just 2 years ago, Earl Joseph has hopped on as our booker, as kind of our social media management. Me and him coincide on stuff, social media, and he does most of the stories. He actually writes our Higher Ground TV product as well. So we've got a whole slew of stuff that goes into the production. And I don't know if you get a chance, we've put some of the stuff on YouTube of our Higher Ground series. It's kind of like our webisodes or episodes, but it's kind of like what I call our TV product, if that's something you want to check out too, man.
Oh, yeah, no, I can definitely. I'm literally, you give me a suggestion wrestling to watch. You put wrestling down on the TV in front of me, I'll watch it.
Yeah. And that's how, like, it was real funny because I got the chance to, I was just getting done with training, and I trained when I was, it was like 15, 16. Dudes didn't know what they were doing, but I was in a ring, and I was like, okay, I love this. But one of my personal highlights was I got to be taken out by George the Animal Still at a local fair show as being in the front row, and he grabs me and he throws me into the ring. So that was something cool, of like a little highlight for me as being a wrestler. I don't want to say performer because that is lingo, entertainment. No, it's wrestling.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. You have those people that, it's funny when that certain promotion, they got their start with wrestling, and now all of a sudden it's like the word wrestling is like taboo on their programs.
Yeah, but I mean, we're definitely looking forward to Mob Rules, man. And a big thing for me, like, is the product. I'm a production guy, so back in November, it was actually on Thanksgiving. For some reason, I thought it would be a bright idea to keep the trailer outside of our building because we've got a 22-foot enclosed that keeps everything that we travel with, the ring, the lights, everything like that. It was broken into, and whomever stole the stuff out of there, like, I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying that I had, our $5,000 PA system at the time was sitting right there, and they decided to steal our light box that had all of our entranceway lighting, our screens in it, and everything. That's the thing that they took. So it was really weird because I felt like it was like a targeted attack because it was a day before the show, and now we don't have any entrance lighting. Our projector screens are gone, and everything was just like, I was like, okay, this is weird. But what I'm getting to with this story is my sister was cool enough to start a GoFundMe page and raise $1,000 at the time to help us get our lighting back. Well, in that time, I actually connected with a company out of China who has jumped on as a 100% sponsor with us. And if you look at our recent West Vigo show, the ring lighting, the lighting that's on the stage, the moving heads, that's 100% sponsored through our lighting company, which it's just another one of those, us being blessed from the situation that happened. But I mean, I'm a big production guy when it comes to the wrestling shows and stuff, so it really does help.
Oh yeah, no, the production does definitely add that little bit something extra. And I mean, I've watched a lot of your recent shows, and y'all have a pretty good setup. I can't lie.
Yeah, we're unveiling 2 new things this weekend at Mob Rules. One, I had to get permission from the fire marshal. So if that tells you anything, they just said, because they're sending us new product to test out as our NSA stuff. They're like, okay, you're going to try this out. So we actually have what they called cold sparks. We've got a set of those, and then I just got in the mail yesterday a six pointed head moving laser light that's about a 4-figure price. But they were like, hey, we want you to test this out and see what you think. I'm like, can't say no. So
yeah. Somebody wants you to try out a piece of equipment that expensive. It's like,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, so I'm excited for it because I get to go. You know, we usually we'll go in the night before we do the setup, so we try to get it where when the wrestlers get in on Saturday or from the run throughs and everything's already there set up, and then we've got an amazing crew that doesn't get enough recognition as well.
Yeah,
but they awesome job of tearing down, setting up, and then kind of coincide with that. So they enjoy it too.
Oh yeah, no, that's good. You know, and I have to agree. The people that, you know, help set up and everybody behind the scenes, it's like everybody from the fans' perspective, they only get to see it when everything's set up, and they don't know all the work that goes into setting everything up. And I've been lucky enough to actually get some experience helping set up shows and everything. And, you know, it is a lot of work. And the people that do those things on a regular basis, they often don't get the credit they deserve, I guess, is where I was going with that.
Yeah, like if I started naming off names, there's about 8 or 10 people that'll come in the day before with me and Chris, and you know, a 12-hour setup takes 2.5 hours to tear down. You would never imagine that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It's funny how long it takes to get everything set up, and then how quickly it takes to get everything taken down.
Yeah, it's a quick process.
But yeah. So this Saturday's mob rules. I know we ran through the card, and it's a great card. Everybody should go watch it. I know it's going to be streaming on.
Hold on a second.
It's going to be streaming on. Oh yeah, no, you're good. But it's going to be streaming on IWTV, right?
The live product won't be streaming live, but Prophets of Ash Video does a awesome job of going home that night, dumping and editing. Like, his turnaround time is under 72 hours for us, and that's one of the reasons why, like, our stuff gets put out so quick, because he goes home and he busts his butt, gets it finished so we can get it uploaded. But we'll probably premiere it on IWTV. I'll have to talk to them and figure it out, but that's what we're kind of leaning towards.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely look forward to seeing when that does get put up there. I know I'll definitely be keeping my eye on that. My dog's wanting to be a pain in the ass right now. Anyway, I know you just got your daughter picked up there. So that is about all I really had. You know, wanted to be able to run through the card. Wanted to tell you that little story about New Wave Pro from, you know, the California version, I guess we can call it.
Yeah, and it's funny too, because we've had people inquire before about kickstarting New Wave Pro in different states. So that's something that's actually been thrown around for a while too. Like, I've talked to some guys in Florida who was interested in doing the New Wave Pro branded name down in Florida. So that's something within the next several years that we're hoping to start branding some other companies under us in different states, and still kind of be involved with them, but still have the Indiana name going on in our home base here.
No, that is a nice idea right there. Now that I think about it, you know, everybody under the New Wave Pro name, but you get the different branches out there, similar to, it brings to mind the way the NWA was originally. They had everybody under the NWA name, but you have your territory in, like, well, for me, Nebraska, or you have stuff out in California, Texas, all over the place.
Yeah, and it's funny too, because we actually have a fan that travels up 13 hours to come to our shows from Texas, and he's actually been kind of inquiring with us in coming down to Texas to put on a show at some point. Which at that point it would be like bringing the ring skirts and then talking to my contacts down in Texas and be like, how much is it to rent a ring? Because I wouldn't be bringing the whole trailer.
Yeah. But yeah, that is about all I have. We definitely got to have a good discussion there about your upcoming card, Mob Rules, this Saturday. We post links to all your social medias so people can keep an eye on when that'll be posted on IWTV, so they can, get eyes on your product.
Yeah, man, that's the main thing that we're looking forward to right now, is just trying to get our name out, trying to get our product in front of the fans and getting feedback, because that's what keeps us going. The positive feedback, the negative feedback, it all goes into it on how we plan the next several months.
Oh yeah, and even the stuff with negative feedback, if there's something you need to change, you never know that you need to change it until you find out somebody has the idea that you need to change whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But I know you got your daughter and your family there with you. I don't want to take up too much time away from them. Family is important. I know my wife and I are actually expecting twins, so I would hope people have the same. Well, thank you. Yeah, like I was saying, I hope everybody would have the same consideration for me, when family stuff would come up. So, but yeah, if that's about all I have. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me, and best of luck Saturday.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.